Maybe you just bought a new Subaru Outback or you're considering buying one. This video is going to share everything to get you up to speed with all you need to know on a new Subaru Outback. Behind me is a 2025 Subaru Outback in the touring trim level, which has all of the features so I can showcase all of the key details. However, this is going to be applicable to any of the 2020 through 2025. Of course, if yours is a lower trim level, it may not have all the same equipment, but for the most part, I'm going to be talking about details that are on every single trim level. So we'll be discussing a lot of the car controls, some of the safety equipment, how to operate those, turn systems on and off, as well as a couple hidden cool features to know about on the new Subaru Outback. And for those who are curious, we are getting an all new redesigned Subaru Outback for the 2026 model year. That should be arriving in spring or summer 2025. I'll share all the details on that as soon as I'm allowed to, so stay tuned for that. All you gotta do is click that subscribe button down below to be on the lookout for that video when I release it. The first thing I want to show you guys has to do with your keyless entry. Now this is very simple, but a lot of people get confused by it. So I just want to show you the layout of this and how it interacts with your car, because there's some cool things to know about. So on the very top of your Subaru key fob, you'll have your lock button. The Subaru logo here is the unlock button. Not a lot of people realize that's actually a button. So that Subaru logo is an unlock button. Down below that, you have your unlock for your hatch. If your car is equipped with it, which this one is, you'll have a power lift gate. So you click and hold that. That will open and close the power lift gate. Close that back down. You have your alarm button right here that will set off the alarm if you can't find it in a parking lot. And then on the back, you have this button that releases an emergency key to where you can gain access to the driver's side of the door if this battery is ever dead. So how does this operate with the car? How does it interact with it? Well, you have proximity sensors on the side of the door. So as long as this key fob is nearby, it has to be on your person. So in your pocket, in your purse, nearby, you can use this to access the door, lock and unlock without having to click any buttons on the car. So to lock the car, you click these little grooves up here on the top. On the touring trim, you'll see the mirrors fold in as well because it has the power folding mirrors. And then to unlock, you just simply reach your hand on the inside of the handle. It makes entry and exit very easy. And then you get inside the car and you click your push button start and you are ready to go without ever having to reach inside to get your key out. Before we dive into the details of some of the car controls, the safety settings, I'm first going to show you a few things on the outside. So we're going to turn this back off. We're going to hop outside and show you one of the top things that I've had Subaru owners for many years who've owned Outbacks previously. Maybe it's their third or fourth Outback and they don't realize this exists. On all but the wilderness trim, you have these built-in crossbars. So there's a quick release lever here. You pull that up. This will swing across there and you can hook it in place. This side over here does the exact same thing. And they have a little rubber on the bottom of it so it won't scratch your paint. So that clips in there. This one clips into here. And there you have it. Now you have your crossbars, the Aero crossbars, so they're quiet, they don't make wind noise. Those are set up ready to go where you can install your bike rack trays, your kayak racks, a cargo basket without having to use any tools. And then when you're not using it, you just click it back in place just like that on both sides. Your Outback also has a handy little step right here that you can use for support whenever reaching up to the top of the roof. The Outback is the only Subaru we have with those built-in crossbars. If you look at any of the fixed roof rails on some of our other models, like this Crosstrek for example, this one has the crossbars on it, but you have to use a Torx bit screwdriver to loosen up each of those 4 screws before you can even remove this. So that can take 15-20 minutes, whereas with the Outback, you're doing it in 10 to 15 seconds. I was showing you at the beginning that you can press and hold this hatch button on your key fob to open or close it, just like this. But there is some other cool features on this that really not a lot of people know about. So on the dash here, we're gonna open up the door. You have a secondary option with your power lift gate there. That's pretty obvious, but what's not obvious is what does this do? This is an off switch for the rear hatch sensor. Now, what does the rear hatch sensor do? We're gonna walk around to the back. As long as you have your key in your pocket nearby, you walk up to the car, maybe your hands are full, you're carrying groceries, a bag of mulch, maybe your golf clubs. You walk up and you put your arm right here in front of the sensor, you'll hear it beep, and your power lift gate will automatically open. So pretty neat that you can do that without even having to pull your key out. And then you can simply close and lock the doors by clicking this button, or just close the hatch without locking the car by clicking that button right there. Inside the hatch here, the Outback has had this for many years, even prior to 2020, but you have these quick release levers that will quickly drop your seats down on the second row. So you have more of a loading floor. You have this cargo cover, which is removable, and you have two stages to it. So your standard level here, you press down like that, and you have a higher level to store larger objects back here, but still keeping them hidden under that cargo cover. Now, whenever you do have this in place, and you don't want the back just flopping down like that, you can just press in like this. You'll hear it click, and that will hold that in place so it's not moving around. And then there's a button over here. You press that. That will remove this so you can take it out. So with your cargo cover out, instead of storing it in your garage or in your attic, you can actually store it down below the floor. You use this little hook here. Hold this in place, and you can store it right in here just by simply lifting up these panels. And then you take your cargo cover with the left side first, and you put it in place there, just like a puzzle piece. And then just take these pieces of the floor, line them up with the plastic clips there, pops into place, does the same thing on both sides. Very quick and easy. There you have it. That's exactly how you can store it, just below your floor. And when you drop your floor back down, you'll have a nice flush flat space to store things, all while still having your cargo cover on you handy when you need it. Your gas door on all of the Subaru Outbacks has a security function where when the car is locked, this won't open. But if you unlock the door, this will open right up. There's a pin in place whenever you lock that comes out to keep that from opening up and keep somebody from siphoning your gas. Now, Subaru has made it easy for us. We don't have to remember to pull a lever to open the gas door, and you don't have to remember to even unlock your doors, because as soon as you open your driver door, by default, that will unlock the doors, and therefore your gas door will automatically be unlocked whenever you go around to the other side. If you ever wanted to adjust these auto unlock settings, just go into settings right here from your home screen. From the top, we're going to click on this arrow to the top right. We're going to select car, so we can adjust our car settings, and we're going to scroll down to where it says auto door lock and unlock. We're going to tap there. Auto door unlock. Right now it's set to auto unlock the door whenever the driver door is open, but if you want it to auto unlock as soon as you turn your ignition off whenever you're getting gas, or once you shift into park, you can do so. Or if you don't want this feature to be on at all, where you don't want your doors to auto unlock, you can tap off right there. The limited and the touring trim level comes with the memory seats on the side of the door here, so you can use the controls down here to adjust your seats. Once you get them in a comfortable position with your door and your mirror controls right here, you click and hold the set button, and then you click and hold the position you want to save. So for driver 1 and driver 2. Secondary to that, you have facial recognition up here with your memory seats and mirrors. It's very easy to set up. You just go into your settings. Again, from car settings, we're actually going to scroll back up to driver monitoring system. We're going to register user. You can register up to 5 users. It's going to tell you to adjust your seat and your door position, your mirror position, before you click on the set. In this case, we've already got it. And then we're just simply going to look forward. It's going to beep and tell you that user 1 has been registered. This is where you can type in your name. In this case, I'm just going to leave it as driver A. We'll select an image. I like the race flags, and set. So now what's really cool, we'll go ahead and move the seat really far back, so hopefully you can see this on camera. We're going to open the door, and we're going to close it, and it's scanned my face and readjusted my position. It'll say your name up there with the image you selected. Very easy to do and very convenient, aside from having to use the physical buttons on the side of the door. From the factory, your Subaru safety settings should be turned on, but in case they're not, or maybe they are and you want to adjust them to your own liking, I'm going to show you how to get into your Subaru safety controls. So by now, most people know that Subarus come with these cameras up here on the inside of the windshield called EyeSight. that helps with avoiding obstacles out ahead, whether it be pedestrians or a car out ahead. It will automatically apply the brakes when that emergency braking system is turned on. It has lane centering, where you'll feel a little bit of correction in the steering wheel. It has lane departure alert, where if you're getting too close to the left or the right side of the road, it will beep. I'm going to show you how to access all those features now, where you can change those settings if you want to do so. So down in the lower left-hand portion of the screen, you'll see the little car. We're going to click on that, and then we're going to click on driving assistance. This is where the majority of your safety controls are going to live. So pre-collision braking, pretty self-explanatory. If you needed or wanted to turn that off, you can do so here. We are going to keep it on. By the way, I'll show you what it looks like. If you ever turn it off, it's gonna ask you here to verify that you want to turn it off. And then it's gonna show you a little icon like this on the center of the display, indicating that your pre-collision braking is off. So if you do come up on something, it's not gonna stop you. The next one over here is your lane departure settings. So there's two things that it'll do here. One is lane departure prevention, where you'll feel a tightness in the steering wheel and it'll actually guide you left and right, keeping you in the center of your lane. It does not drive for you. This is not autonomous driving, and it does require you to have your hands on the steering wheel. The warning buzzer is just the audible tone, the beeping that it makes whenever you get too close to the left or the right side of the road. Some people find that a little bit aggravating, but you can decide what you want to do with your own vehicle. You can have all of those functions on, so both the lane departure and the beeping, or you can have none of them on. It just depends on what you prefer. And then we have our rear vehicle detection. This is going to control both the sensors that activate your blind spot detection and the sensors that control the rear cross traffic alert. So if you're in reverse and you're backing up and there is a moving object back there, like a pedestrian walking or a car coming down the aisleway, it's going to beep, indicating that they are back there. For your blind spot detection, we're going to turn this off so I can show you what this looks like, because whenever we turn it back on, the lights illuminate. And by the way, whenever it's off, you're going to see little icons up here telling you that something is turned off, just like that. So here is what it looks like when your blind spot detection is on. You have these orange lights that light up on the inside of the mirror caps, just as an initial warning to help you avoid turning into a lane where somebody already exists. All of the modern Subarus, and really all modern cars nowadays, just about have a system called auto start stop. It shuts the engine off at complete stops to save on fuel and decrease emissions. If you don't like that feature, you can simply tap right here to turn it off. This does default on though, so if you turn the car off and you turn it right back on, this will be lit up green again, but all you have to do is tap right there and it turns it off. If you need to adjust your climate controls down here, you have fan speed controls, you have temperature controls right here, where you can tap anywhere in this large rectangular area, just like this, or you can use these physical buttons on the side. And this is dual climate, so the driver and the passenger can have independent climate controls. If you like to use cruise control, this has adaptive or regular cruise control, and I'm going to show you how that works and what adaptive cruise control means. So with the help of those cameras up there in the windshield, if you set your cruise control going down the highway, it's going to automatically apply the brakes and pace behind that car out ahead. So here's an example. We're going to click on the cruise control button here. To set your cruise, you click down on this switch right here. That will set the speed for you at whatever speed you are traveling. You can adjust the speed up or down with this switch, and you can also adjust the distance between you and the car out ahead. So if you want to have a smaller gap between you and the car out ahead, you're going to click the down arrow to decrease that gap. You'll see the lines moving there down to one line. And then if you want to increase that gap, again, you increase it back up all the way up to anywhere from 1 to 4 lines. Now, if you don't want to use adaptive cruise control, all you have to do is click and hold this button or this button. These are the distance control buttons that I was just showing you guys. So click and hold it. You'll hear it beep and that distance control will go away. And to turn it back on, it's the same process. You click and hold this. Or if you turn the car off and turn it back on, that will automatically be back on by default. With your cruise control active, you can also use lane centering without having to adjust the settings over here like we just saw previously. So this button will only work with the cruise control active. It's a simple on and off switch. When it's on, it will say ready, and then whenever those lane markings are detected on either side of the road, it's going to link up and you're going to start to feel that tightness in the steering wheel, and that will light up green. For many years now, Subaru has added Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. This gives you the ability to utilize some apps from your phone, like your navigation, without having to use the onboard nav. So if you like to use Google Maps or Waze, you can use that without even having to have nav on your car. You can stream your music apps like Pandora and Spotify or YouTube Music, and you can also do hands-free phone calling and text. So very helpful to have those capabilities. Starting in 2023, they added wireless Apple CarPlay, Android Auto capabilities, so you no longer have to plug into the USB inputs down below there, but you can connect either way. So if you want to connect your phone to your car, you can plug in down below, or you can click this Add Device icon there, click on Add, go to your Bluetooth settings in your phone and select the device name. In this case, it will be Outback. Once you are connected there, it's going to ask you if you want to connect to Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, depending on the device you have. You click on yes, and it's going to mirror your phone up on the display just like this, giving you the ability to utilize those apps I just mentioned. This video should give you everything you need to know to get started on your new Subaru. As always, if you guys have questions, leave those down in the comment section below. I'll do my best to answer those for you. And if you guys enjoyed today's video and learned something new, as always, please remember to click that like button before you leave. Hope you have a great day, and I will see you in the next one.